Well, Wonderla Holidays too is in focus as the company plans to reopen their theme parks from the 9th of November. Let's connect with Arun Chittilappilly, who is the managing director. Arun, it's been such a long time that we've spoken, and I'm sure that it's definitely been quite rough on your business. Very noble that you're reopening the Bangalore business from the 9th of November for a week for the frontline COVID warriors and their families. But I just want to also get in an insight as to what the past few months have been like for the company, given that there's been a virtual shutdown of your operations.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on the show. As you all know, I mean, the tourism and entertainment industry has been hit the hardest, and obviously we are not an exception to that rule. But I think fortunately, we've been able to really control our costs quite substantially. And in fact, our operating expenses have been brought down by more than 2/3. And because of that, I think we've been able to, relatively, we've been able to survive the pandemic. And now I think it's a point where I think I can see green shoots coming. And, we feel like it's probably a good time for us to do some experiments and try and open the park in Bangalore on an experimental basis. So we are not opening the parks throughout the month, for the entirety of the week. We are opening only for three days a week, which is the weekends. So so it's we are eagerly anticipating to see what will happen. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And, you also just taking a look at the financials, naturally they have been hit on account of the lockdown. You've reported a loss of about 1.5 crores in the quarter. The total operating revenues as well have dwindled. When do you think we can see a pickup? You're talking about operations opening gradually. Do you think that within the next few quarters we can see things scaling up for the business?
Yeah, I think the next 2 quarters will be tricky to see. I mean, it will be choppy for sure because of the pandemic. But I think within two to maximum 3 quarters, I think we will see a recovery. That's the hope, and that's the signal that we are getting from other entertainment parks around the world and things like that. So that's the hope. Yeah.
See any message from any new things?
Sure. Arun, you're also finally reopening. Tell us the kind of footfalls you're anticipating in Bangalore, what the outlook is like, when you plan to also reopen Kochi, Hyderabad.
Actually, we don't have any visibility on when Kochi and Hyderabad will open, but Bangalore, we've got the go-ahead from the government and the agencies so that we can open. And we are also restricting our footfalls to about 1/3 of our capacity, which is about 3,000 visitors a day. And we are not opening the entire park. In fact, the water park remains closed. We are opening only the amusement park section. So that we are not sure right now what the demand curve is going to be like. I think we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But like I said, I mean, a couple of quarters are going to be choppy at least. And then I think we can see a recovery. And we are hoping that by this year is going to be choppy. And then next year, I think we'll see, gradual recovery to the pre-COVID levels. That's the indication that we're getting right now.
You started that takeaway outlet, Wonderla Kitchen, as well. How did that fare? And, what's the outlook on that?
So that was started as a staff engagement initiative during the lockdown because we have a large workforce and we wanted to see how we could meaningfully engage our staff. And that is the idea behind it. But I think it's still, it's an experiment for us to see how we can, add to the value proposition of the brand. Right now it's still a very small initiative, but we are hoping that it could grow. We have about 4 outlets right now across a few more outlets. And again, it's too early to predict how it's going to grow, but as of now, we are happy with the way it's going. Yes.
Sure. Arun, also wanted to understand when is it, or rather, first let's talk about the safety measures that you may have put in place. You're saying that you're going to open Bangalore with a 1/3 capacity a few times a week. But for parks as large as yours, the safety measures also have to really be a key priority. What are some of the steps, if you could just walk us through, that you've put in place to ensure all the norms with related to COVID and others as well?
Yeah, so obviously there is a new protocol in terms of how we are going to operate the parks and the rides. We are following what the global standards are right now for this. So we are looking at the leaders like Disney and what the protocols that they are following. And we will definitely be following similar protocols in terms of physical distancing, sanitization of the rides, managing queues. But luckily for us, I think we are an outdoor venue and we are spread over a large area. So naturally, it's not going to be we don't expect too many crowding and lack of physical distancing. I don't see that being a problem for us. So I think in that way, I think for compared to like a multiplex or a closed environment, I think we are in a much better space. So I think we should be able to manage it. And but I think the key will be to make sure that people book tickets online so that we can restrict visitors to 1/3 of our capacity. I think that's something that we've never done before. So it's a new experiment for us to, sell tickets online. So we're going to pivot to mostly a digital marketing strategy going forward. Like I said, the next 2 quarters is when we will be experimenting on this whole digital selling and things like that. Yes.
We'll speak soon. Hopefully you should get more clarity once the park does resume. Good luck with that, Arun, and thanks for taking the time out and speaking with us today.